any length of time, you've actually seen probably the Fuelings, where they have made bagels out of the potato fueling and egg whites and I think baking powder or something like that. But if you know me, you know that I don't add anything to my Fuelings except for water. So I have to admit, I'm a little bit jealous of this whole bready bagel kind of thing because I happen to love bread. And so I needed to find a way to actually make the bagels without using eggs or any kind of a fueling hack, and I've got it. So let's have fun with Fuelings. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lizabeth, and I'm living in the light by documenting my weight loss journey, and I'm using Optavia's 5&1 program. I have been on the program for a little over a year. I have lost over 126 pounds, close to 130. I'm hoping tomorrow will be when I weigh in. And my goal is to lose 150. So I'm hoping by October of this year that I have achieved that goal, and I am working on transition where I will be able to maintain my weight loss for the rest of my life. If you don't know a lot about Optavia, you can message me. I've got information in the description box down below. If you can look it up on the internet, you can read about it, you can ask questions, but Optavia is a great program that helps people to not just lose weight, but to retrain your brain, to focus on fueling your body in the proper way, and to reach that optimal weight and to maintain that weight as well. So it's not just a diet, it is an entire health system that works to transform your body and your mind for optimal health. So let's talk about this fueling that we're going to make today. It is going to use the potato fueling. You could use either the sour cream and chive or cheddar, sour cream and chive one, or you can use the roasted garlic one. That's what I'm going to use today. And then the other thing that you're going to need is a golden pancake mix. Now it has a little bit of sweetness to it. Don't get the one with the chocolate chips in it for this. It does, unless you want chocolate chip bagels. But go ahead and get this one, just the regular mix. It will have a little bit of sweetness to it, but what it has is that leavening agent that you need to give it a little bit of a bready texture. Something I'll also say about the pancakes, they reformulated the pancakes. I've said this before. I think that they're a little bit on the dry side. The new one, I used to love the old ones. Not crazy about the new ones, and I wasn't going to order them until I realized that I could use these in combination with other fuelings to make something that is more bread-like or cake-like with more of that texture in it. So now I order both of them. I keep them on hand, and they work like a charm for what I'm trying to do here today. The first thing that I'm going to do is preheat my oven to 375 degrees. I also have this donut pan. It came from Pampered Chef, but you can buy them in the grocery store or the like Walmart or Target. You can get the silicone version that you don't have to spray, but since I purchased this one, I'm not going to not use it and buy something different. So I have this one. They are rather small, so what this is going to do is probably make 2 to 3 per fueling. So I'm going to end up making either 4 or 6 of these little bagels. I am going to mix them up in a large mixing cup just because I want to be able to pour most of it. And then I've got my spatula that I'm going to stir with. If you don't have these small spatulas, these are great because most of the fuelings are very small amounts and big spatulas don't do as well mixing small amounts, so you need this. Another thing that I have that I like, this one also came from Pampered Chef, but you can buy a similar one at Walmart or at Target. It is just a 1/4 cup measuring cup, but it has tablespoon markings on it. And that's really important because a lot of the fuelings call for 2 or 3 tablespoons of water. Yes, you can use a regular measuring spoon, but I find that this little measuring cup comes in handy. I actually have one of these from Pampered Chef and 2 that I bought at Walmart. I use them all the time. One of them always stays out. They are so handy for measuring small amounts of liquid things. And so what I'm going to do, I've got my water. I'm going to go ahead and spray 6 wells. I might not need 6. And I am going to, in my measuring cup, I'm going to put my pancake mix and the potatoes. So why am I not using egg whites? Why am I not using everything but the bagel seasoning? Why am I not using baking powder? My personal choice for this program is to follow the program as closely as I can to what they have written. Fueling packages say to add water, so that is all that I add to Fuelings. I choose to make sure that my fueling periods, I'm eating about 100 calories. I'm not adding extra protein to it. I'm not adding anything else. And I'm saving those condiments. I'm saving my leans. I'm saving my greens for my lean and green meal. That is a personal choice that I have made. It works really well for me. As I said, I have been on this program for, this is the last day of week 54 for me. And in 54 weeks, I have lost weight every single week except for one. And that 1 week was following a week where I had had a big unexplained drop of like 6 pounds. And it was like at week 11 or 12. And I lost like 6 pounds in a week. But then the next week I gained 2 pounds back. It's still, an average over those 2 days was lost. That gain was not because of anything I did, not because of anything I ate. I was still on the program 100%, made my fuelings the same way, weighed my lean and greens. It was just, I think, my body balancing. So that was why I didn't lose any that week. But I do say, out of 54 weeks, I have lost 53 of 54. So I don't use the egg whites, I don't use the baking soda, but this does actually work. So what I'm going to do to this, I've got my pancake and my potato in here. I'm going to put in a half a cup of water. So that's 2 of these. And I'm going to mix it up really well, make sure that I get everything thoroughly combined. I want to make sure that the potatoes are all wet, that the mixture, there's no clumps of anything dry anywhere. And if I do it in a glass measuring cup like this, I can stir a little more vigorously. When I find that when I use a bowl, I tend to slosh it over the side a little bit. So this is going to get everything mixed up super well. I've already sprayed. A lot of times I recommend that you let the potatoes hydrate a little bit, especially if you're going to do a waffle. Really liquidy things on the waffle maker are not really the best. But for this one, having it a little bit of liquidy is okay. I'm just going to pour it into my wells and try to get them as fairly even as I can. And I think if I scrape this out, I will have the right amount. All right, so these are all ready to go. I am going to pop this into the oven for 25 minutes, and I'm going to keep an eye on it for that last 5 minutes to see how it comes back out, and then I will come back and show you what these look like once they are all baked. I actually stopped these after 20 minutes. I think that they are cooked sufficiently. So 3 of these is going to equal 1 fueling. And so I made 2, I had 2 fueling packets. I made 2 fuelings. Now I know some of you crazy kids are going to use something like Laughing Cow cheese on yours. I don't use any condiments with my fuelings, but if you do, you can definitely do that. Some of you would have put some everything but the bagel seasoning in yours. You know, a half of a teaspoon of everything bagel seasoning is a condiment. So you could, since you have 2 of these, you could have done a whole teaspoon and mix that in. That would give you 1 condiment per fueling. But a half of a teaspoon is not very much. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is everything but the bagel seasoning. I make my own. It's just a mixture of black sesame seeds, regular sesame seeds, poppy seeds, dehydrated onion, and dehydrated garlic, and some kosher salt. And I just keep it in a little container. I do occasionally use it. My husband might use it. It's great if you're having an actual bagel and cream cheese to sprinkle some on top. But this is a half teaspoon. That is half a teaspoon of everything but the bagel seasoning. It's not very much. And so you could mix it into the mixture. When I watch people and I look at their bagels, I think there's a lot more than a half a teaspoon of everything but the bagel seasoning on there. Now, a little sprinkle of this and a little dash of that. Don't get caught up in doing that. Please make sure that you're measuring everything. There's actual carbohydrates in condiments, and there may not be much, but it adds up when you're not careful. So make sure that you are really restricting to what Optavia says. In my opinion, that is how the program works best. Will you still lose weight if you don't follow things exactly, or if you use condiments with your Fuelings? Yes, you'll still lose it, but I don't think you're going to lose it as quickly as you would if you would follow it the way that I'm doing. Again, personal opinion, no shade on you. I will still love and support you no matter what you choose. And I hope that you will give this one a try. Try it without the egg whites, without the baking powder, without the everything but the bagel seasoning, and see what you think. These are going to make two great Fuelings for me. Again, I hope that you'll give it a try. Please give this video a thumbs up. That really does help me. It helps my channel. It helps others to be able to find my videos. And share my videos with your friends on Facebook groups. Feel free to put links to videos that you find are really helpful to you. Leave me questions in the comments box down below. And until I see you next time, please live in the light.